Viewer discretion is advised for this love-themed podcast. The content may contain discussions and sensitive topics related to relationships, dating, and love. Some content may not be suitable for all listeners, especially those uncomfortable with open and vulnerable conversations. We encourage our listeners to practice self-care and to reach out to a trusted friend or professional if they need support. You have no friends, you have me. Welcome to the Lost Lover Boy podcast. Welcome to another episode of the Lost Lover Boy podcast. I am your host, as always, Mr. Demetri Wiley. Today we have a very, how many times can I say very special episode. We have the SpongeBob to my Patrick. We have the goddamn Hey to my Arnold. I don't even know how many best friends I can actually compare it to, but we are here with none other than my best friend on the planet, Mr. Justice Hunt. How you doing today, bro?
It's a pleasure to be here, bro.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
I've been looking forward to being on the podcast.
It's been a minute. You know, they know you, and they've been anticipating you being on for quite some time. Welcome.
Thank you.
The home of the lovers, you know?
The home of the lovers.
I see you got some merch on there. What you got there?
Bro, I eat, sleep, and live in this.
You live in that?
It don't come off.
Okay.
In the shower and everything.
Okay, I bet. Can you introduce yourself? Tell them a little bit about yourself, and then I got a question for you right after that.
My name is Justice. I'm from Chicago, West Side, born and raised. What else you gotta know?
Absolutely. For those who do not know, me and Justice did attend high school together. That's where we actually first met. Justice was the very first friend I made in George Westinghouse College Prep so long ago.
The whole name.
Bro.
The whole name like that.
Bro, don't we feel old as fuck though?
I don't want to talk about
Bro,
it.
I feel like my knees is hurting, guys. You know what I'm saying? I gotta stretch before the gym now. I ain't never stretched before. But so we are here today because I know you. They don't know you, but I know you. And I've grown to know you as we've done these things like clubhouses and, you know, taking on business ventures together.
Right.
I've grown to know you more than I thought, you know what I'm saying, was possible. And now I'm even learning you in different realms. Come to find out you're a lover boy yourself. You know what I'm saying? Come to find out you're a lover boy yourself. I'm going to ask you an easy question first. I'm going to ask everybody that ever enters this space on this podcast, what is the definition of love? What does it mean to you? If you had to sum it up in a couple words, I asked Logan. He said something like the idea of you missing someone. What do you think love can be defined as?
Love is sacrifice.
Okay, how so?
Everything. So when you love somebody, you can no longer look at life through your own lens for self. Now you have to look at life through the lens of the person that you love and decide, what do you do, or how does what you do impact them in their lives? So you kind of got to sacrifice a little bit of your own self to make sure that they are involved in your vision for life.
Absolutely. You know, it's crazy. One of my favorite words when it comes to speaking on, and I swear to God, I just got goosebumps when he said that. But one of my favorite words in terms of speaking on love and being loved correctly is the idea of consideration. And I think you just summed up what it is that I expect out of love and what it is that, because you think about a parent to a child, like me and Logan.
Yeah.
Logan's considered in everything I do. Every time I get up and go to work, every time I, you know what I'm saying, clock in, the shit like that. Every time I'm touring, every time I'm out on the road, every podcast I do, I'm always considering my baby. I'm scared to get in the shower, you know, while he sleep. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, if he jump up, you got to consider him in everything you do. And I think that is actually one of the best definitions I've heard in quite some time. Now, you have been in a long-term relationship, correct?
Yeah.
And how long was that relationship with him?
4 years.
4 years. Congratulations on that, I was going to say.
I'll take it.
The reason I say congratulations is not because it may have ended the way you wanted it to. Are you single now?
Yeah, I'm single now.
And forgive me for asking questions like I don't know. But
You good.
This is for the people. This is for you. Everybody who wanted to know my brother, this is my brother. But you're single now. Can I ask you what was, we're gonna start on a lighter note.
Okay.
What was the highlight for you on being in a relationship? What was your favorite part? Me, myself, I'm like a cuddler. I'm like having a person there.
Okay.
I'm like type shit. What about you?
That's a hard ass question. I never thought about what was the best part of being in a relationship before.
Well, that's why we're here on the Lost Level Word podcast. Wherever anything is possible.
I know I'm gonna rethink this later, so I'll just give you the best part I could think of now. Off top of my head, the best part of being in a relationship for me was having someone to share the experience of life with. Like the ups, the downs. When you're single and you're not dealing with nobody, you kind of just everything is by yourself. Mm-hmm. But when you got somebody that you're dealing with and y'all got a genuine connection, they're a good person, good energy. You know when you have a great experience, if they with you or you can go share that with them and they'll be excited for you. Mm-hmm. If you got a bad experience, you don't gotta suffer through that alone. They could be an ear to listen to you.
You know, I don't believe, and I got goosebumps again. God damn! And the reason I say this is because I don't believe shit sits on my leg. I don't believe people actually. And this is my honest opinion from what you said. I don't believe people actually and genuinely appreciate the lows of a relationship enough.
What you mean?
And this is what I'm gonna sum it up. So, what I mean by that is, if we can make it through a low, do you understand how our highs are gonna feel?
You make it through them lows.
Like if you struggle to see through the negativity in a relationship and through the confusing part of a relationship, when we 70, 80 years old and we looking at the grandkids, or we looking at you know what I'm saying, our children's grandkids, you know how proud we can be? Like, baby, we made it through the fire. You know what I'm saying? And I think people don't understand that sometimes making it through the fire is more rewarding than making it look easy. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we've been through some shit, but we're here. Brothers fight. Sisters fight. You know what I'm saying? Family fights, right. But we're here. And I think people don't understand, in order to build something structurally, you know what I'm saying, you have to sometimes question the foundation and change these building blocks that you add into it. You might say, oh, this brick not strong enough. Okay, baby, let's try this brick that I just got. This one from Home Depot didn't work, but this one from Menards might do it. Sometimes you gotta substitute out those, you know, instructions, or substitute out those methods or bricks or materials in order to build something stronger. And I think a lot of times in our generation, we just used to giving it up.
So would you say that going through that fire, but also it don't make your relationship better, only it makes you better as a person?
Absolutely.
I agree with that.
And you know, I tell people all the time, the greatest thing that could have ever happened to me was heartbreak. I found myself after heartbreak.
Break it down.
So what I mean by that is I was so hung up on the idea of what I wanted. I didn't even understand what I needed for me. I didn't even understand. I'll give you a gym analogy, because you know we big on the gym. If you're not, listen, I'm turning 30 soon. I need these knees to still be Megan by the time I get to where I'm going. You feel what I'm saying? Hey, you get what I'm saying? I'm just, you know what I'm saying? But the thing about it is, a gym analogy. I was so focused on what the look was that I never actually sought to work on the form of it. I was just so good with saying I'm going to the gym that I actually missed out on the form and building that muscle.
My boy with the analogies, you know what I'm crazy. Saying? I'm just saying the technique had to get developed. You was doing the work, but you needed better technique.
Bro, and heartbreak slowed me down to say, focus on the technique. You just hurt yourself. Slow down, work on your form, and do it right. And that's exactly how we got to where I am for me. So question for you though, this 4-year relationship you speak on, what was the hardest part? That smirk is crazy. That smirk.
There's a lot of hard parts.
That smirk is crazy.
The hardest part is I'll give you a 2-part answer.
Okay, as I say, take a sip of my drink.
Yeah, so the first part of this answer comes before self-reflection, right? So before the self-reflection, the hardest part was forgiveness, because we had some things go on that, to be honest, I was never able to forgive her about, and that is probably one of the biggest reasons that led to our downfall.
And hold on, before you get that, I'm gonna need to know what that was. I'm just curious. Like this the Lost Lover Boy podcast.
She cheated on me.
She cheated.
Yeah, she cheated on me.
Okay. Now back to the context of the actual explanation.
So the hardest part was forgiveness at first, and then after I started to reflect on myself and being in this relationship, the hardest part then became, and this was the most important part too, it became forgiving myself. So at first I had to try to forgive her for what she did and her actions, and then I started to realize maybe forgiveness is owed to me, because my hatred or my disdain wasn't so much about her doing me wrong like she did. It was about me allowing that to be done and not doing anything about it to protect myself. Just allowing it to happen.
For sure. And I think I've been there, first off. I just want to put that out there, put that in the air. I too have been cheated on. And my thing about it was, what I discovered after everything was that a lot of times people are still searching for self. A lot of times people are looking for self in, you got drug addicts, you got fucking alcoholics, you got fucking cheaters, you got liars, you got people who have not discovered what they want their true character to be. So it's hard to stand on your word when you don't have that knowledge of what you believe you should be standing on. You know what I'm saying?
Does that make it easier to forgive?
It does.
When you accept that people have...
It does. When you accept the idea that people are human. And I think the thing about it is, what was hard for me, and I can't speak for you, but I would love to know your answer as well. What was hard for me in being cheated on was the idea that I expected more of you. Was the idea that I gave you more, so I expected more. I was good to you, so I expected you to be good to me. And that's what hurt the most. And it wasn't until you completely step back and you realize you didn't owe me that. You didn't owe me anything. You know what I'm saying? You literally be mind blown to the point to where your forgiveness is almost like default. You almost like, it is what it is.
So could we compare it to how you forgive a child for making childish mistakes?
Yes.
This is where you are in life and your development, and I expected you to be something that you weren't. You never showed me that you were.
God damn, you're good. And the thing about it is, it's actually called radical acceptance.
Okay.
And I don't think a lot of people understand what that term implies.
I don't know what that means.
But so radical acceptance is having this vast knowledge that life happens.
Right.
This vast knowledge that you are not in control of everything you do not have your hands on.
That's so hard to accept.
That's why it's radical. You see what I'm saying? That's why the term radical is applied to it. And just like a child, just like you said, that was a fucking perfect analogy. Just like a child, you give them grace because you expect that they do not know better. You only take grace from those you expect to do know better. But in all actuality, you were never proven that they know better.
Right.
You just accepted them.
You expected them to fit this vision that you had of what you wanted.
Bro, that when I realized that, when I realized all of who I thought I was going to marry was only because I thought I was going to marry him, not because this is who they've shown up to me as, right. I healed myself. I said, you figure your life out. That's your story. You do you. You gain knowledge as you go ahead in this life. But for me, personally, I can't hold you to this standard that you don't even hold yourself.
Now, I got a question about that thing. That discovery, since we're talking about it. Was it a discovery that you aimed for? Did you try to figure it out? Or was it just one day it kind of just hit you to understand and was like, oh, shit?
That's a good fucking question. If I was to sit and be completely honest with you, I searched for it. And not just searched, high and low. I was in the gym. I was angry. And now, to no regard, am I ever telling you I was the perfect man? Because I was fucking not. I was a man trying to figure myself out. And here's the thing, what people don't understand. I was a man trying to figure myself out after hurt. Just like you said, you attempted to forgive her, but you really couldn't. I was in the same boat. I was trying to forgive somebody for something while also trying to live continuously. So I started to make my own fucking mistakes. You get what I'm saying? And sometimes I wasn't as myself as I wanted to show up as.
I definitely understand.
But that's why I'm so hell bent on the idea of if it's supposed to work, it will. Red flags you should pay attention to. You know what I'm saying? There's signs to tell you, and I tell everybody, this is my definition of a red flag, right? For any red flag, a red flag for me is a speed limit sign. So imagine you taking a road trip, and you know you want to get here early, right? So you're doing 80 and a 70. But you keep seeing these fucking 70-mile-an-hour signs. They keep telling you, slow the fuck down. You may even get the motherfuckers that be like, this is a construction zone, 50 it is. And you know, some motherfuckers still speed past 50. You like, I don't give a fuck. That's exactly what a red flag is to me. A red flag is not paying attention to the signs that told you slow down. Yeah. So by the time you get to the end of that construction zone and you see this motherfucking cop that done pulled you over,
it's too late now.
It's too fucking late. Now your heart's wrapped in. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of times, man, we speeding. We fucking speeding and running over all of those fucking signs. And one of the biggest signs a motherfucker could ever give you in a relationship is fucking cheating on you. And we ran right through that. I remember once, man, and I'll say this in relativity, to the idea that, bro, you ain't alone. And I know at the time you probably questioned like, damn, this makes me less of who I think I am.
1000%.
You know, you feel me?
I felt like I couldn't claim to be a man anymore.
Come on.
Like I had to re-earn my title as a grown man.
It little boyed you.
Yeah,
you know
like
what I'm saying? Yeah. And the thing about it is, that's your mind telling you that, but your heart is telling you, I love this thing that's standing in front of me. You know what I'm saying? What I try to tell everybody is this idea that, no, I was getting to the story. So the story was, I too went through what you went through. I got dogged, like early, before the fucking relationship. Oh, bro, the speeding signs was there. Yeah. I was doing 160. I was supposed to go to jail. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it was, she once placed a material object over my feelings, over everything. So she was talking to this person at the time. And this person had like the fake clothing labels where they print random labels on shirts and just sell it type shit. And at the time, she had started talking to this person, and I found out alongside of her talking to me. Right? No transparency, no communication. This is before the relationship. This is the dating phase. Okay. So now you just threw somebody else in the middle of it when she asked me for exclusivity. So she, come on now. Okay. She threw somebody else in the middle of it after begging me for exclusivity. And then, bro, when that was over, after a major fucking, this Lost Love Boy podcast, I'll give it to you. I walked into an apartment I just left, right? I just left that morning to go to work. And I ain't got a call from this motherfucker like all day, right? So this is crazy because she usually call me on the way to work, call me all day at work, XYZ. I ain't heard from this person all day. So I'm like, fuck it, it's lunchtime, I'm gonna take her lunch. She probably at the crib, whatever, she was in school. So I'm like, all right, bet. I jumped in the car, drove all the way out west, and there's someone else in the house. I knock on the window, she comes to the window, frantic. Mind you, the door from the window is probably like two.
This wasn't your house. Y'all wasn't together.
It wasn't
yet.
my house.
Okay.
This was her house.
All right.
This was like 2-3 minutes from the door, and the window was like a minute apart. 1 minute walk, not even 30 seconds. Bro, it took 5 minutes to come to the door. She came to the door, super fucking nervous. Oh, I was just leaving XYZ, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. You know, intuition starts to talk to you. So I'm like, can I use the bathroom? She was like, yeah, I was just leaving XYZ. So I go in and use the bathroom. I use the bathroom. I'm thinking in my mind. I walk out the bathroom. I'm standing right in the hallway. I say, so who's here?
You said that? Or
Yes,
you're thinking that?
very verbatim. Who's in the house?
Because at this point, you're not even going to play with it no more.
I'm not even finna play with you. Who's in the house? She goes, nobody, nothing. What are you talking about? Bro, I walk backwards to the back door, open the back door, standing right there. What I do? Close the back door, walk right back out the front.
I commend that.
Bro,
you could have did some other shit.
You could act out of character. And I think my biggest pride in myself is being who I am, even in the midst of adversity. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the true testament of a man. Like how far
integrity.
It's integrity. Mm-hmm. How far do you stray away from your values when what you want isn't working at the moment? Yeah. So I end up just walking out of the house. But I say all that to say the same person who had the clothing label, after we mended things, I didn't want to at the time, but I love this person. So we mended it. We get back to talking. She not talking to this person no more. Mm-hmm. There's a $10 shirt. The shirt probably costs $10 to manufacture. Mm-hmm. There's a $10 shirt. She got fucking 30 of these things. She just wearing it around the crib when I was there. I'm like, I would feel a little more comfortable if you like did away with it. Mm-hmm. And she said, I don't throw away things people bought me. Just like that, bro. Just like that. Crush me. You know what I'm saying? But I went on to dealing with the person, outside of what probably the red flag intended. Mm-hmm. But years later, she throwing away shit somebody bought me. You know what I'm saying? And, but the thing about it is, I say all of that to say, a lot of times we act out of character for love. You know what I'm saying? We do things that's beyond ourselves for love. But let me ask you this question. And this is probably the base level best question a person should ask after all this. Was it worth it? Did you find more of yourself after it was over with?
Yes.
Can you explain?
But it's hard to say it's worth it because who's to say what I would have experienced in those 4 years had I not been with her? I don't know what life would have been like.
You could have met your wife.
You feel me?
I could have been the best man.
I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I would have been rich.
One
of the biggest problems in my relationship was that I wanted to grind and she didn't want me to spend that time away from her. She wanted my time. Mm-hmm. But so I would say that yes, it was worth it for what I did learn from that. But it's only worth it because I chose to learn from that.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? I chose to reflect. And now when I'm dealing with women now, it's a new type of calmness. Because I've learned, like we just said, I've learned to not expect you to be something that you haven't showed me to be.
For sure.
I trust you to demonstrate yourself to me thoroughly. Mm-hmm. And that don't mean you may not lie to me, but it means that if I catch you in a lie, I trust that now you are a liar.
For sure.
I don't expect you to.
For fucking sure.
So I'm calm now. I don't get riled up over women anymore because it is what it is.
So let me ask you this. And I think everybody should function from a place of calm, right? When it comes to dating, because when you're hyper, you make mistakes. You're speeding. That's exactly what the speeding metaphor is. Mm-hmm. I think you should function at the most relaxed. But, and I need some full transparency on this. Has the calmness come with a level of caution? Can you sometimes be over cautious?
Very much so.
Can you explain? Because before you can explain, I shared something maybe a day ago, 2 days ago. And it was these guys, and they had bro plugged his phone into the TV. And these guys was going over the text messages of his girl. He was like, see, bro, this is why I had to tell her, like, she was playing me. Like, this is why I had to tell her I gotta stop talking to her. You know what I'm talking about? Did you see it? Yeah. But the idea of it was he was sharing his thoughts with his homies because he wants their perspective because sometimes he feel like he can be a little too cautious. How do you look at that? How do you view that? What is that like inside of you?
I've had people tell me on multiple occasions that I don't give people a chance anymore. And that's a direct result of that relationship. Fuck. And so we've talked about this. for a long time, I thought I was healed from that relationship, and I'm kind of discovered within the past year, I'm like 97% healed. But there's a little piece of me in the back of my mind that still puts up extra defenses that I maybe shouldn't have up. But so to be very straightforward with it, I've had people tell me when I tell them about maybe it's a woman that I'm dealing with, a young lady, and maybe I cut her off for whatever the reason may be. To me, it's a valid reason, but to them, they would say something along the lines of, nobody's perfect. That wasn't that crazy. You can't expect this person to know you and treat you how you want to be treated off back. You have to learn a person.
For sure.
And part of me is like, no, fuck that. And then the other part of me is like, what's the chances of me finding the perfect woman initially?
Absolutely.
I could find a great woman, but she won't be perfect. So I got to be willing to work with people a little bit.
You know, I've heard the same sentiment.
Yeah.
I've heard it from my mother. She tells me all the time, you were a little too hard on people.
Yeah.
And my thing about it is, it's not that I don't think what people see, me personally, I am super heartstrong about my non-negotiables.
Yeah.
Right?
So
if you show me that you are not self-aware, you show me that you have no sense of consideration for the other person you're dealing with, if you show me you're attention driven, if you show me your, you know what I'm saying? There's certain things I can't deal with. But I'll be honest, and this is where, again, it comes into this hyper consciousness or hyper caution, is the idea that a lot of what I'm saying you can't be, or my non-negotiables, is a lot of things that I
dealt with before.
I put up with in the past.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I question like, damn, does that make me wrong for building non-negotiables off the back of this old relationship? Or does that make me right?
What do you think?
I don't know, bro. You know, I came to the same conclusion you had the other day. Literally, the other day I came to the conclusion.
Yeah.
I was like, what if I'm not fully healed?
There's a little piece of you somewhere in there.
What is it? I was like, why do I feel like sometimes I'm the problem? Like, why do I feel like I'm too hard? I might just be the fucking problem, bro.
Every now and then, you might tweak a little bit every now and then.
Damn.
Every now and then.
Damn.
But we work on that, though.
We working on it. And, you know, I want to salute you, too, because part of working on it is having people to label you accountable. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so this is a message for anybody out there listening. Your friends are a direct result of where you land in life. So if you have friends that bring heavy, how do I even phrase it? Heavy emotional lessons for you. Like if your friend tell you, nah, fuck that bitch, just take his money. Hey, that probably ain't your friend. You want friends that's gonna come to you like, hey, maybe you should view this a little differently.
The people that's gonna ask you them introspective questions.
Absolutely.
That make you look at yourself.
Do you think we those kind of friends?
Do I think what?
Do you think we that kind of friendship? We got that kind of friendship going on?
You be asking me some shallow.
God damn, for real?
No, in all honesty, yeah, I think that you know, we don't always like to be made to look within ourselves when someone else points out something, but you will always do it. What I'ma always do, like I won't get into it, but y'all pointed out something to me the other day, and we in the car, and I'm thinking about it like, man, fuck that shit. But then as we get to the house, and I'm thinking about it later on that night, I'm like, you know what? Some parts of what y'all said was actually true, and I got to be able to acknowledge that.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, we got that kind of friendship. Man.
And you know the thing about it is, even in that car ride, we were sitting there and talking about it, and my little brother was getting involved in XYZ.
Yeah.
I felt it. I felt the tension of it building up. You know what I'm saying? I felt like, hey, this nigga probably a little mad at me right now. You know what I'm saying? But I also felt like that you knew it's coming from a good place.
Yeah.
It's the idea that if I can't help you see anything in a relationship, I can help you see yourself and who you showing up as. You get what I'm saying? If you show up correctly, my hands is always gonna be up like, bro, you did all you could do.
You did what you could do.
You did all you could do. But if and this is a message for all friends out there. If you notice that ego's leading those conversations, or a different quality trait that's not your friend is leading those conversations, you should speak on that. You know what I'm saying? Because this person they might be dealing with might just be their wife. You know what I'm saying? Might just be their husband. And it all depends on who they're showing up as. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I appreciate you for the way you even, man, shake this shit, man. Shake this shit, man. I appreciate you for the way you even, took that conversation.
Yeah.
Because, bro, honestly, as weird as it may sound, I look at you as a reflection of myself. And as great as you are, is as great as I could be. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all know, but this is my motherfucking nutritionist, my trainer, my motherfucking, you know what I'm saying? My common sense on the left, on the right side. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is who that is. And I think everybody needs someone, and that's where we get fucked up at. We settle for friends who are just fucking yes men. This is the most challenging nigga I've ever met in my life.
Whoa, like, is that the hard ER?
That was the hard ER. I had to give it to you because you're light skinned.
All right, cool.
You know what I'm saying? I was just saying. But people settle for yes friends.
No, for sure.
And doing that is it's like settling for McDonald's. It's the cheap meal.
Bro, then you got a group full of bums.
Then you got a group full of fucking bums.
Ain't nobody thinking about growth. Everybody just comfortable in the moment doing bullshit.
Bro, but let's take them back for a minute, right? All right. Let's take them back to high school. In high school...
That's way back, bro.
In high school, I fucking hated you.
Yeah.
Listen. Wait. But I don't know, you wasn't my friend type shit.
Yeah.
But I viewed you as like an older brother. And I was like, if I'm not better than this nigga, I'm not good. You know what I'm saying? Like the one shorty I liked in high school liked you. And you know who the fuck you are. So if you watch it, hey, don't even say the name because you that did it. Hey, listen. You know who you are, and you hurt me bad. You know what I'm saying? I hope all these love girls beat you up out here. But nah, she literally on the phone with me like, you think Justice like me? And I'm like, I like you, fuck. You know what I'm saying? But I couldn't even say that. I'm like, maybe. You know what I'm saying? So all that I am, your friendship, your brotherhood, your ability to develop self transformed me into this person.
I feel like we're finna get sentimental.
Oh, you know, cheers. Cheers.
No, I do gotta add just a quick, my 2 cents to that. I'll agree with you in the sense that, to me, you set the standard. So I ain't had my pops in my life. For those who don't know me, I've never met this nigga. So when I'm trying to figure out what a man should be, I don't have a lot of places to go look. And so when I meet this nigga, and I met his brothers too, but I'm looking at you and your brothers, and I'm like, you're the standard of what a man should be in my eyes throughout high school. I'm like, the nigga's charming, the nigga's athletic, the nigga's fly than the bitch. You got all these traits, and I'm like, okay, so if this is what I'm gonna call the standard of a man, I can't never fall below this nigga. I gotta be at his level, or I gotta whoop him every time. Mm-hmm. So it was competition. But for me, it was always a brotherly competition. I would never want to pull you down to see me up.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? You
know what's weird to that? Because I never knew the actual dynamic of you and, your pops until I was grown.
Yeah.
I didn't know bro wasn't there. So when I actually found it out, I was quite fucking shocked. And the reason I say this is because this nigga has no brothers. He got sisters. You know what I'm saying? He got 3 sisters, you know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, he got 3 sisters. He was living with his mother. And this, when I right hand of God, this man showed up as one of the most masculine figures I've ever met in my life. And I don't know, maybe you can explain it to us. I promise you, bro, like I'm dead ass. Like, I'm dead ass. I was looking at you like, what the fuck? For one, I thought you was rich.
For everybody, I don't know where they are.
I'm like, this nigga live on Racine. I'm in the fucking hood.
Low income housing.
Bro, I didn't know.
I feel you.
I didn't know. But I think it's a reflection of who you showed up as that had people being able to believe these things. I thought Pops was at the crib sleep. I swear to God, I imagine.
Wish that nigga was at the crib sleep. I'm listening.
It's crazy because I imagined a like older version of you at the crib. So when I found out that wasn't the case in my adult years, bro, I remember like sitting thinking to myself like, and the same for my boy Charles, and we're gonna have him on one day too. But the same for my boy Charles, I thought about it, and I was like, damn, neither one of my homies got to experience this thing I have at home. You know what I'm saying? And they still turned out to be one of the most, and I don't even just want to say masculine, because I believe masculine is complemented by an ability to allow femininity in. You get what I'm saying?
Both energies.
Y'all got both. And y'all got a good balance of both. You know what I mean? Maybe a little less dilly. That nigga's masculine than a motherfucker. Oh. You know what I'm saying? That nigga will beat a nigga ass. Yeah. But
I'll beat a nigga ass.
I know. But at least you'll check on the nigga after you beat his ass.
You good, bro?
But like exactly, I ain't want to do it, but I had to do it. But like, I swear to God, y'all turned out to be remarkable individuals with having that big ass like downside of life. And bro, no, absolutely. And I think for me, I couldn't imagine my son having greater uncle role models to look up to. Knowing if I was ever gone, he'd be straight. Oh, he good. Even though you niggas ain't even got kids, y'all will figure it out. You know what I'm saying? It's times you've had Logan by yourself and I ain't been around. You know what I'm saying?
Worried?
Bro, no. On my mama, I swear to God, like not.
You got no reason.
I didn't call. I didn't check. Look. I was like, hey, that's my boy. If anything, the biggest strain he gonna have is Logan saying some annoying shit to him. You know what I'm saying? But like,
it's all day long,
bro, all day fucking long. But it's appreciated. And I think in high school it was truly a reflection of me trying to reach a level of greatness that I was surrounded around. You know, and that alone has developed us into the men we are.
What are the chances of people meeting niggas like we got? The chances of you meeting 1, 2, 3 niggas who are so like people don't have friends like we
I don't know. I don't know, but I thank God for it. You know, bro, we have, I don't know if you know, we have property together. You know what I'm saying? We have investments together. We have, you know what I'm saying? And Diddy as well. We are in it. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, I could never be in it with anybody who's not like-minded and developmentally structured. Right. But again, to add to that and take it back to the route of a lover in general, there's a respect factor that y'all just give. Y'all welcome in any room because y'all are respectable to women. Y'all are any grandmas, any mothers, the way y'all show up as men. I can't wait for y'all to have kids. I know God gonna give y'all a little boy so my son could teach him how to, you know what I'm saying? And I
need about 10 of them things.
Bro, 10 of them things?
10 of them things.
So do you want to be married?
Yeah, I would love to have one.
One?
Here's the thing
One
about
wife,
marriage.
10 kids.
The thing about marriage, I would love to have a soulmate. The only thing that throws me off about marriage is all of the legalities that come with it. And I ain't gonna lie, it's a little bit of fear attached to that whole concept. I do want a woman for the rest of my life, for sure.
Now, when you speak on the legality part of it, what is the fear?
The fear is that I lose all of my shit if she divorces me.
Your assets?
Yeah.
Well, me personally, how I look at it, I don't even.
You know what? Nah. It's deeper than that because I just even realized the real fear is the possibility of losing my children. If she decides
that's bigger than me.
That's way bigger.
That's bigger than.
And I'm a family man, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would crash out over my imaginary kids, and I ain't even got them.
Oh, my imaginary kids. Let me tell you. Never imaginary, only manifestation here on my Heartbreak podcast. And I feel you on that though, because me personally, I try to show up as the best father I could be. Tomorrow I got a motherfucker dentist appointment at 4:00. You know what I'm saying? Just because bro gotta get his fucking teeth checked. Gotta do it right. You know what I'm saying? But me personally, I just look at it, and for the marriage aspect of it, I know love is not all that's needed. I'm quite 100% aware. But if you have someone who loves you enough, the legalities won't matter. So as people sit and they talk about prenups and they talk about this and that, she can be like, I don't give a fuck about a prenup. I'm gonna be like, I don't give a fuck about a prenup either. You know what I'm saying?
What?
Like, what do you want to do, baby? She like, hey, if you want me to sign it, I'll sign it. I'm like, okay, if you want to sign it, you can. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's what the love should be. And I think a lot of times people get so wrapped up in the idea of the legalities that they forget about the person standing in front of them. You know what I'm saying?
Am I one of them people?
Maybe.
I might be one of them people. But let me say this though.
Uh-huh.
Let me say this though. It's not. You know what? Fuck it. I'll say this. If I was to be in a relationship with a woman and we had kids and everything, I'm not the dude to say, fuck you, you don't get shit. I'm gonna make sure. Oh, you know what sacrifice it takes to be in a relationship and have a man's children and raise a man's kids?
A lot.
So and I understand that thoroughly, being raised by a single mother of 3 kids.
For sure.
4 kids, including myself. So with that being said, I'm never worried about. It's not like so much about losing money and taking care of my ex-wife and shit. If I was to get a divorce, I'm going to take care of your lifestyle because my kids have to go between my house and your house. When they're over there, they got to live the same way they live when they're with me. So her standard is at my standard. So it's never fuck my ex-wife or my whoever it is. It's that I'm worried about the possible greed. Like you don't want just my standard. You want everything.
You want everything.
That's what kind of.
And this is what alleviates fear in my mind. The idea that if I was to get married, I know exactly who I'm picking.
That is true. That's true. You should know who you're marrying.
You should know exactly who the fuck is standing at that altar. And when I say that, I don't mean the idea of knowing just the signs that you avoided. I mean everything. You know who this person is in the midst of adversity. You know who this person is when they broke. You know who this person is when they lonely. You know who this person is in the midst of character development. You've seen it all.
That takes 2 things, I feel like. You tell me what you think. I feel like, the first and foremost is discernment. You got to be able to see these things.
For sure.
But it takes experience.
Absolutely.
You got to have enough experience with this person to see them in different situations.
Absolutely. And that's why I don't rush dating.
Okay.
If it's supposed to happen, it will happen.
Right.
For me, dating should be a long-term thing.
Yeah.
And the idea of marriage is when it speeds up. So I'm so certain about you in this dating aspect that for me to propose, I already know. I already know from what you've shown me, you're not only here for the finances. I already know from what you showed me, you're not only here to... I've watched how you've handled people who's wronged you before.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
That's key.
You see what I'm saying?
Key.
I've watched how you handled people who's wronged you before. So now, when you feel like we are not on good terms, you looking at it with a radical acceptance of it is what it is. You see what I'm saying? And that kind of what keeps my mind safe in terms of banking on the person I'm marrying. I'm banking on the reflection of myself. Just like we sit and we do business together, I'm so certain of you. Anything was to go wrong in this business, we good. You know what I'm saying?
I never questioned that something happened because you're a fuck up.
Exactly.
I assume that you did everything in your power to make it work, and it didn't work out that day.
Exactly. And I think that alone keeps me like okay in terms of marriage. But if I could fire a few more questions at you, if you're good with it,
I'm all ears, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Your idea of getting married. You say you want 10 kids.
Oh, yeah, as many as I can get.
As many as you can get.
If I can get more, I'll take more.
Bro,
I'm so
10
serious.
is not enough.
I'm so serious. I'll take 100.
I'm with you though. I'm with you because I just feel like love and family and abundance is the reason we live. But that's just me. That's just me.
If you don't have a family, you don't have seeds. What do you? And that's just like you said. It's just me. Some people don't want kids. That's what I live for. I live for my family,
exactly.
My future family, and my current family.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, question for you, and this is probably if you had to look into this camera right here.
Which one? This one?
This one right here. No, this one right here.
I'm listening.
Until your ex, where the heartbreak lies, what they've done for you, what they've done to you, and how it's made you who you are, what would that message be?
What she's done for me, what she's done to me, and what?
How they made you who you are today. What would you say to him? You want me to go first?
No.
All right. Handle it. Handle it.
Say it one more time. What she's done to
what
me.
She's done for you, what she's done to you, and how she made you the justice we see here on this podcast.
What you've done for me. You've given me confidence to be the man that I am. When I question who I am and if I'm good enough, you've definitely given me the confidence that I am more than good enough. That's what she's done for me. What was the next part?
To you.
What have you done to me? You broke my fucking heart. My shit was torn.
That's not where I thought you was going with that.
No, it broke my fucking heart. No, what did you do to me outside of break my heart? You did your best to me. Yeah. And what was the third part?
Yeah, how did she develop you into the justice we see today?
I can't sit here and bash my ex like this because
I'm not asking you to.
Yeah, well, no, I'm just saying. So because we didn't stay together for 4 years for nothing.
Exactly.
There was some real bad lows, but we had our highs too.
Exactly.
So how did you help me to become the man that I am today? Obviously the confidence part. She was with me through probably the lowest point in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. And there was nothing she can do to pull me out of that point in my life other than to just be there and try to offer positive energy. And she tried to do that when she could, and it did work for me, when it did. And then, of course, there's the other side of things where if we had not gone through some of the things that we've gone through, I wouldn't have the wisdom that I have now and knowing how to move in certain situations. So what she's done to her impact on me today is that I have the confidence. I have more confidence in who I am, but I also have wisdom in what I am not and will not accept.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, if I can get a message in. Whoa! What you've done for me. You've given me the greatest gift I could ever receive, which is my young one. And I appreciate you for that. He is heaven sent. I actually just walked in his room a minute ago and was in awe that I had a child. In awe that he's as old as he is. Yeah. It still kicks my ass today to realize God trusted me to be a parent. And not just a parent, but a good one. So I thank you so much for that. I will never stop attempting to repay you for just that blessing. What you've done for me. All of this. You've developed the lover boy. You created this caricature.
Royalties? Royalties?
Hell no. Hell no. Royalties, hell no. But what I mean by that is the idea that all of what I attempted to be, who I attempted to be, and show up as for you was all I needed to show up as for my future wife. It's everything that I put in a bag in preparation for you. I now realize and see God's bigger picture and saying, you are exactly where you were supposed to end up. And I'm exactly where I was supposed to end up. And congratulations on wherever you did end up. But for me, you've done nothing but create this emotionally available man, and I thank you for that. The way I am today, what have you done for me today? Um, I have now developed a better relationship with God because of heartbreak. I've now developed a better relationship with my family. I've now developed a better relationship with my friend, and I understand that everything I do must contain love in it. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart. There's no shitting on you. There's no shit talking. I put this out here too because you never know who actually listening to these things. I apologize from the bottom of my heart for the man I did not show up as.
He's speaking for me too, because I definitely was not the perfect man in my relationship.
And matter of fact, you should double back and have that conversation.
You're right.
Just
you're
in
right,
case
okay.
that person is listening.
Right.
But I apologize, truly, from the bottom of my heart. I was never my best. And I will not make excuses for it. Because what did we say? A man of integrity shows up as who he is in every occasion. And a lot of times I lacked integrity. So I apologize from the bottom of my heart. I do not have any grief or grief or animosity towards you. I love you for just being the mother of my child, and I thank you for that every day. I got one of the best child mothers in the world, I'll be honest. She's a great mother.
You know what? And I feel like I told you this before. Despite you guys not being together, the fact that you know that you have a woman who is an excellent mother to your son, that has to be an amazing feeling.
Man.
My biggest worry is being with a woman who's not a good mother.
Yeah, and again, that's discernment. That's your ability to assess. And I know when a child comes, it's all different. Mm-hmm. But watch, pay attention to how they treat other members of their family. It'll tell you how they'll treat their own. Mm-hmm. But your message for the ex, if you want to double back and issue those words of sip my drink.
I'm trying to think, is this like an apology or is this acknowledgement?
Acknowledgement.
Yeah, because it has to be acknowledgement. So, and me and her have had this conversation before, but just speaking on this podcast about it, I got to give you both sides. I can't let you guys think that she was all bad and no good and I was all good and no bad. Mm-hmm. So there were definitely times where, and there was even a prolonged period of time where I didn't show up as the man that I know I can be and that I am. And for whatever the fucking reason is irrelevant because you don't deserve, no one deserves to deal with the expression of your hardships over long periods of time. Mm-hmm. What should have happened is I should have stepped up to another level sooner than I did, but yet I've allowed myself to kind of not be the man I should have been for a while. And you know what? Whole time she kind of stayed with me through that shit too. Like she was understanding. So I definitely appreciate you for the great times that we had and for you having my back like you did.
Absolutely,
for sure.
And I think that alone explains, the type of integrity you have. Because most motherfuckers will be like, I ain't saying shit, fuck that. But I think that's why the idea of lover boys and lover girls exist in this world. Mm-hmm. Because even through it all, we hope for the best. And I know myself, I'm a very emotional motherfucker. I've grown to learn you're a very emotional motherfucker yourself.
You're not going to know it unless you know it, though.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, candles burning. But if I can, I'm going to end this like this because I don't want to get it too long on the people. Okay. I appreciate you for...
Me?
Yes. For the brother you show up as every day. For the business partner. For the uncle. For the lesson. For the figure. You know what I'm saying? And if I had to put it in words, father figure. You know what I'm saying? Just like you gave it to me. Someone you can learn from. Mm-hmm. I appreciate you. Hey, Loke. Hey, that was my creepy. But just know I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. From one lover boy to another. I know you're going to get married. You're going to have the best wedding. And I'll be your best man. I appreciate you, my dog.
For sure. For sure.
Thank you for tuning in to the pod. Any final words?
Go get the fucking
Go get the podcast merch. It is out now. Lost Lover Boy, Lost Lover Girls everywhere. We got brown coming soon. We got blue coming soon. And we got
brown.
Hey, that brown. Hey, I look a little daddy-ish in the brown. But I appreciate you guys. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you for tuning in. On this podcast, we like to say this common phrase. Peace out. I think it's time I finally try to find myself. I've been running from love, just trying to hide from all this pain I felt. Look, trying not to be the joke in the deck of whatever cards get dealt. They say a star still gotta let them align themselves.